In this video we're gonna create the paddle and the keyboard controls. So as you can see, I can press this one from right to left. I can do it very fast. So this is gonna be our final product for this video: paddle and keyboard controls. This is the fourth step out of the 10 of the Game Dev Canvas tutorial. You can find the source code as you should look after completing this lesson at the Game Dev Canvas and workshop lesson 4.html, and this is the GitHub repository, so you can check out this link with all the code in it. And right now we're gonna go into our folder as programming.js, and I'm gonna go into my game dev, right click, open in terminal, and then just type in code space that so I can open it in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I'm gonna close this one and that one. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my index.html file, and I'm gonna right click and then open with live server. Okay, so we have so far this the ball, and the ball is bouncing off the four walls that we have, up and down, left and right. So we have that to this point. Okay, so here the ball is bouncing off the walls freely and you can watch it indefinitely, but currently there's no interactivity. It's not a game if you cannot control it. So let's add some user interaction. A controllable paddle, defining a paddle to hit the wall. So we need a paddle to hit the ball. Let's define a few variables for that. Add the following variables near the top of your code beside your other variables. So let's do that, and we're gonna go to our main JavaScript file, and let me see. Okay, so we are gonna have, let me see, add the following variables near the top of your code beside your other variables. So we are gonna go, let's see, we're gonna go below this one, the can statement declaration, the ball radius, and we're gonna add the three variables. So the first two are going to be constant declarations, and the third is going to be a let statement declaration. So first we're going to have the constant statement declaration. It's going to be the pedal, or it's going to be the paddle height, and we are going to set it to 10 by default. Okay, and it has to be camel notation, so yeah, keep that in mind. So it's going to be paddle height, okay, and then paddle width, and it's going to be set to 75. So we're going to have the const, and it's gonna be, okay, so it's gonna be paddle width like this, and it's gonna be set to the number 75. So we can add that, and there with a semicolon. And now we're gonna use the let statement declaration, and we are gonna have the paddle legs, and we are gonna set it to okay, so we are gonna have the as abstraction of the canvas that width and the pedal width. So open parentheses, and we're gonna have the canvas that width, okay, minus the paddle height width, okay, and then it's gonna be divided by 2, semicolon at the end. Let me see, that's right. Okay, that's fine. And okay, let's just move this one here. Okay, we can save it to this point, and again, nothing is changing. We still have the same ball that is bouncing off the wall. So we have that. We just declare some variables, so that's fine. Now here we are defining the height and width of the pedal, and it's a starting point on the x-axis for use and calculations further on down the code. Let's create a function that will draw the paddle on the screen. Add the following just below your draw ball function. So, and remember, we have three functions: the draw ball, the draw, and now we're gonna have a third function. So let me see again. Add the following just below your draw ball function. So just below the draw ball function. Okay, we're gonna go right here. So this is the draw ball, and below is gonna be this one. So we're gonna name it draw paddle. So it's gonna be draw, let me see, paddle, like this. Okay, so we have this function named draw paddle, and we are gonna have inside of the curly braces the ctx, and we're gonna use some methods. So we're gonna have, again, it's gonna be the begin path. We're gonna open parentheses and wrap this one with a semicolon, and you can pretty much here, if you want, just ctx and then close with path. So we can do that, close path, and I mean that will be the starting and the end, as you can see here. And okay, nothing is changing obviously. So in between the begin path and the close path, we can start having the ctx red, fill style, and fill. So we can do that. We have the ctx that fill style, so it's gonna be the second one. ctx, okay, ctx red, okay, rectangle, so it's gonna be ctx rectangle. I'm gonna pass in some parameters. So we are gonna pass in the paddle height, no, paddle x. Okay, we're gonna pass in the paddle x. We're gonna pass in a subtraction that is gonna be the canvas dot height. Okay, it's gonna be canvas. It's gonna be canvas that, let me see, canvas dot height, canvas dot height, and it's gonna be minus the pedal height. So it's gonna be minus the pedal height. Okay, it's gonna be canvas dot height minus the paddle height, and as a third parameter is gonna be the paddle width. So it's gonna be the paddle width, I already have it here, and as a fourth parameter, the final parameter is gonna be the paddle height. So we have that up to this point, semicolon at the end. So let's see what else. We have the ctx rectangle, then we're gonna have the fill style and fill. Okay, and let me see, we're gonna have the ctx that fill, okay, fill style. So I already have it here, and we are gonna set it to, let me see, we are gonna set it to this color, and ctx style. Okay, it's gonna be 0095 and then double D, and but first you have to type in the number sign. So double D, that's fine. Let me see if this is working yet. No, nothing yet. Let me see. Then you just have to have the semicolon at the end, and then ctx that fill, like that, semicolon at the end. And let me see, something has changed. Let's see if we can change the color. So let's go here and just pretty much type in hexa. Okay, so hexa color, oops, like this. So hexa color. Okay, pretty much you can just go to Google and just pretty much, I don't know, maybe let's go for this color that is gonna be number 51. So it's gonna be here, it's gonna be number, then it's gonna be 51, then it's gonna be F5, and then it's gonna be 42. So let me see. Okay, so nothing has changed yet, but let me see. So let me see. So we still have this function name, has to be draw paddle, like this. Okay, so we have the function name draw paddle. Let me see, just to double check, begin path, then we have rect, paddle x, canvas height, paddle height, paddle width. Okay, close path. Yeah, everything is fine. Okay, so everything is fine up to this point, and right now it's not working because we are calling just the function draw. So we're calling in this function here. So but let's continue moving, and I just kept in this color here, this kind of green color. So let's keep moving. Okay, so allowing the user to control the paddle. So we can draw the paddle wherever we want, but it should respond to the user's actions. It's time to implement some keyboard controls. We will need the following. So two variables for storing information on whether the left or right control button is pressed. Okay, so two event listeners for key down and keep up events. We want to run some code to handle the paddle movement when the buttons are pressed. Two functions handling the key down and key up events, the code that will run when the buttons are pressed. The ability to move the paddle left and right. Press buttons can be defined and initialized with Boolean variables, like in the example. Add this line somewhere near the rest of your variables. So okay, so pretty much we're gonna go up now, and we're gonna go here, and we're gonna have this let statement declaration. So it's gonna be let right, it's gonna be paddle, so right press, okay, like this, right press, and we're gonna set it to right press. We're gonna set it to this boolean that is gonna be false, semicolon at the end, and then let left press, and we are gonna set it to false by default. So we have the right press and then the left press. Okay, so we have that up to this point. The default value for both is false because at the beginning the control buttons are not pressed. To listen for key presses, we will set up two event listeners at the following lines just above the set interval line at the bottom of your JavaScript. So let me see, so add the following lines just above the set interval. Let me see, we're gonna go here, and this is the set interval, so just above, so we're gonna type it right here. Okay, at the following lines just above the set interval line at the bottom of your JavaScript, so it has to be after this curly brace. And we are gonna have pretty much we're gonna have the document dot, and then we're gonna have the add event listener. Okay, so it's pretty much over there, and we're gonna have three parameters. So we're gonna have the key down, so I already had it here, so let me see if I can do it. So oops, let me see, it's gonna be key down. Okay, then as a second parameter is gonna be key down handler, so camel notation, key down handler, like this, key down handler, and finally we're gonna have the boolean false. Okay, so semicolon at the end, and then we're gonna have pretty much the same thing, so we can just copy and paste this one. Let's have it here, and we're gonna have pretty much keep up, like this, and now it's gonna be keep up, like that, so camel notation. So let me see, key up handler, and then set to false. So yeah, everything is fine. Okay, oops, yeah, it has changed now. So let me see, everything is fine. When the key down event is fired on any of the keys in your keyboard when they are pressed, the key down handler function will be executed. The same pattern is true for the second listener, key up. Events will fire the key up handler function when the keys stop being pressed. Add this to your code now below the add event listeners line. So add this to your code now below the add event listeners line. So we're gonna have these two functions, okay, this is our, let me see, we were right here, our add event listener, so we're gonna have a function right here. Okay, and add these to your code now below the add event listener line. So we're gonna have just two functions. Okay, so we're gonna have in the function, and we're gonna name it key down handler. Okay, so camel notation, key down handler. Okay, and we're gonna pass in e. Okay, so we're gonna open curly braces, and now we're gonna have the if statement, the if statement declaration. So we're gonna have the if else if. So we're gonna have it here, and yeah, let's start doing it. So we have the if statement declaration. So if the variable e that, and the method that we're gonna use is the key. Okay, is equal, so triple equal sign, is equal to right. So it's gonna be equal to right. So if it's equal to right, let me check it out something real quick here if we miss something. Right press, no, that's fine. Yeah, if it's equal to right, then okay, or, so we're gonna use the logical operator. So or the e dot key is equal to false, I mean to equal to the arrow right, so to arrow right, so arrow right, okay, arrow right. Okay, if this is true, then we're gonna do something, and that something is gonna be, let me see, we're gonna right press, we're gonna set it to true. So the right press, we are gonna change it from false and we're gonna set it to true, to the boolean true, semicolon at the end. That's fine. Okay, so we go to the end of the curly brace of the if statement declaration, and we are gonna have else if. Okay, else if. Okay, so we're gonna open parentheses. If the e dot key is equal to left, okay, is equal to left, or the e dot key is equal to, okay, arrow left, okay, then we're gonna have the left, okay, we're gonna have the left press, and we're gonna set it as by default set to false. But if that is true, if this statement is true, if the e dot key is equal to left or the e dot key is equal to arrow left, then the left press is gonna be set to true. Okay, let me see, and what else do we have here? So this is the first function. Okay, so this is the first function, it ends here, and pretty much we can just copy and paste here since it's pretty much similar, but let's just keep app handler now. So we're gonna have in the keep app handler now, and again we're gonna pass in the e, and then we're gonna pass we're gonna open curly braces, and we're gonna have the if statement declaration. So this time we're gonna have the if the e dot key is equal to, this time is gonna be right, so like this is equal to right, or the e dot key is equal to, let me see, is equal to arrow right, so it's gonna be equal to arrow right. We're gonna open curly braces, and we're gonna have the right press, we are gonna set it to the right press, we're gonna set it to false. Okay, so right press is gonna be set to false. Let me see. Okay, so we have this function named key app handler. So if the e dot key is equal to right, and the e dot key is equal to arrow right, so then we have that the right press is gonna be set to false. Okay, and that is for the function key app handler. So we have that, so it's pretty much the same thing, but the only thing that is changing is that this function is the key app handler. So now we're gonna have here, we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna have the if else if, and again we just pretty much have the if that key is equal to left. Let me see if it's right left, so yeah, I have to type it right like this, I have to type left right. Okay, so it has to be like this, left, with the first letter as capital. So okay, so or e dot key is equal to arrow left, like that. Then we are gonna have in the left press is gonna be set to false. Okay, so let me see if that's right. We have the function, let me see. Okay, is working again, let me check it out. Okay, so we have the function key app handler, and let me see, let me just double check if everything is fine. Right, arrow right, true left, false, arrow left, yeah, everything is fine. Okay, so when we press a key down, this information is stored in a variable. The relevant variable in each case is set to true. When the key is released, the variable is set to false. Both functions take an event as a parameter represented by the e variable. From that you can get useful information. The key holds the information about the key that was pressed. Most browsers use arrow right and arrow left for the left right cursor keys, but we need to also include right and left checks to support the IE Edge browsers. If the left cursor is pressed, then the left press variable is set to true, and when it is released, the left press variable is set to false. Okay, so the same pattern follows with the right cursor and the right press variable, so that's fine. Now the parallel moving logic. Okay, so we've now set up the variables for storing the info about the press keys, event listeners, and relevant functions. Next, we'll get into the code to use all the things we just set up and to move the parallel on the screen inside the draw function. Okay, now we're gonna start working inside of the draw function, and as you can see, we have the set interval and we are calling the draw function. So right now nothing is changing because we haven't updated the draw function yet. Okay, so inside the draw function we will check if the left or right cursor keys are pressed when each frame is rendered. Our code might look like this. So let me see. So we are not going to type anything. This is just an example that they're giving us, but here they're using the if statement declaration. If the right press, then parallel X, we're going to use the assignment operator, and we're going to assignment operator 7. So it's going to be parallel X is going to be assigned to parallel X plus 7. Else, if the left press, we're going to have the parallel X is going to be set to parallel X minus 7. So we have that. If the left cursor is pressed, the parallel will move 7 pixels to the left. If the right cursor is pressed, the parallel will move 7 pixels to the right. This currently works, but the parallel disappears off the edge of the canvas. If we hold either key for too long, we could improve that and move the parallel only within the boundaries of the canvas by changing the code like this. So let me see. If the right press, and then we will open curly braces, parallel X is gonna be assigned to the math.minimum, and then inside of the parentheses we will have the parallel X plus 7 as a first parameter, and as a second parameter we have the canvas.width minus the parallel width. Okay, else if the left press, we will have the parallel X set to the math.max, and we will have two parameters, parallel X minus 7 and then the number 0. Okay, so we have that up to this point. So now the parallel X position we are using will move between 0 on the left side of the canvas and canvas width, parallel width on the right hand side, which will work exactly as we want to it. So as we want it to. Add the above code block into the draw function at the bottom, just above the closing curly brace. So we will, let me see, add the code block into the draw function at the bottom, just above the closing curly brace. So again, we're gonna go here. This is the closing curly brace, so we're gonna pretty much start typing here. And yeah, if you want, you can just pretty much copy and paste, but it's better to just type it in. So we're gonna have the if statement declaration, if right press. So if right press, okay, that's fine. Then we're gonna open curly braces, and we are gonna have in the parallel X. Okay, we're gonna have in the parallel X, and we're gonna set it to math. We're gonna set it to math.minimum, and we are gonna pass in some parameters. So it's gonna be the parallel X. Okay, the parallel X plus the number 7. Then we are gonna have in the canvas that width minus the parallel width. So minus the parallel width, semicolon at the end. And let me see, canvas.width minus the parallel width. Okay, that is the if statement. So we're gonna have the else if, and now we're gonna have in pretty much left press. We're gonna open curly braces, and we're gonna have in the paddle X, so we'll have it here, and we're gonna set it to math that, and this time is gonna be maximum, and we're gonna have in the paddle X, and then it's gonna be minus the number 7, and as a second parameter we're gonna have in the number 0. So we have that, and now okay, so pretty much let me see how it's looking. Nothing is changing yet, but let me see. Okay, so the only thing left to do now is call the draw paddle function from within the draw function to actually print it on the screen. Add the following line inside your draw function, just below the line that calls the draw ball. So we just need to type it in here, and let me see. The only thing left to do is to call the draw paddle function from within the draw function to actually print it on the screen. Add the following line inside your draw function. So we're gonna go into the draw function, and it's gonna be just below the line that calls the draw ball. So let me see what is the one that calls the draw ball. So just below this one, and it's gonna be named let me see what is gonna be named. It's gonna be named draw paddle. Okay, so we just can draw paddle, this one. We open parentheses, set of parentheses, and now it should be working. So let's check it out, and as you can see, it's working right now. And we have changed this. This is a green color. This is the color that we just pick it up from Google. So we just type in hex color, and I don't know, you can maybe mess it up and pick this color maybe. Let's try it out first. So we're gonna go into here into the function draw ball, and I mean there was this one. No, let me see. You change it below, save it, don't save. Okay, so it's gonna be, it was in the paddle, it's gonna be this one, and we can just change it to F5. Okay, it's gonna be F542, F542, and then it's gonna be D4. Let's save it, and now it has changed, as you can see. So let me see. So we have that, and now I'm pressing the keyboards in my laptop. I'm pressing the right now, the right keyboard in my laptop. I'm pressing the right, I'm pressing the left. Okay, oops, I lost. So pretty much I'm pressing the right, and I'm pressing to the left right now. So I'm playing the game right now. Oops, like that. So I'm missing a lot. I'm pressing up and down. Obviously it's not working, but at least the left and right keys are working. So yeah, they're working pretty fine. Okay, so compare your code. Here's the working code for you to compare. So pretty much you can check out your code, and it's already here also in this link. This is the GitHub repository, so you can check out this link if you wanna follow along here. You can check out also in this website as well. So let me see, what else do we have here. Now try making the paddle move faster or slower, or change its size. So next steps, let me see, we're gonna, okay, so now that we have something resembling a game, the only trouble now is that you can just continue hitting the ball with the paddle forever. This will all change in the 5th chapter, Game Over, when we start to add an end game state for our game. Okay, so but this is pretty much it, all that we have for the paddle and keyboard controls. So this is the game, and you can just pretty much press it with the key, the right and left key on your laptop, on your computer. So this is it.